Abubakar, presidential candidate of People's Democratic Party (PDP) to unseat President Bola Tinubu, was on Thursday finally laid to rest as the Supreme Court dismissed the appeal filed by him challenging Tinubu election victory. Pen pushing reports that in similar development, the Supreme Court equally dismissed the separate appeal filed by Peter Obi of the Labour Party challenging the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The 7-member panel of the court unanimously dismissed the appeal after resolving all 7 issues raised by the appellants in favor of Tinubu in a legal battle which stretched to the United States of America to overturn Tinubu's victory at the 25th February election. Pen pushing further report that Justice Nyako Okoro, who led the panel while delivering the judgment, struck down the allegation by Atiku that failure to promptly upload polling unit results of the election to IRF amounts to non-compliance with the provision of the Electoral Act, thus invalidating the election. The court, in the judgment, dismissed Atiku and People's Democratic Party (PDP) argument, stating that IRF was not a result collation platform. Therefore, failure to upload results onto it could not have invalidated the election. That is coming from Pen Pushing. If you want more of that, you can get it from their page, their online newspaper. Another one, lawmakers want a police barrack auction. Lawmaker wants all police barracks auctioned. And we also have another one that says Nigerian lawmaker invites Naira Marley over Mohbad's royalty. And let's take that of the police first. And quickly, let's see what is Pen pushing from that police report. I said the headline said Nigerian lawmakers want all police barrack auctioned. And the story leads that the member of the House of Representatives have called for the auctioning of police barracks across country to tackle the deplorable living condition of officers, noting that the problem of adequate and dignified accommodation for police officer persists and had to add so far outlive all previous measures. Pen pushing report that the lawmakers made the resolution on Thursday during plenary at the chamber following the option of a motion of urgent public importance by Honorable Murphy Omoruyi, representing Labour Party Edo State. You can get more of that from Pen Pushing online. I think this will also interest more some youth, majority of the youth in Nigeria, particularly those who want justice on Mohbad. And I think the National Assembly is doing something as reported by Pen Pushing newspaper. Let's get what they are trying to say. Nigerian lawmakers invite Naira Marley over Mohbad's death. The House of Representatives panel has invited the controversial Nigerian musician Aziz Fashola, popularly known as Naira Marley, over the royalty of late Afrobeat singer Ilerioluwa Aloba, known as Mohbad. Pen Pushing reports that the joint committee comprising the committees on youth, justice and legislative compliance had in a letter ordered Naira Marley and the legal team of the late Mohbad to appear before it on October 31st, 2023. You can get more of that from their pages online. And as I tell you initially, they are more reliable. Moving on this morning again, we are back here on the Punch newspaper. And Punch newspaper for 27th October 2023 has the lead story with Tinubu triumph after 171 day battle. Tinubu triumph after 171-day battle. Let's see what the story has for us. Yes, the Supreme Court on Thursday ended the 171-day legal tussle to nullify the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with the rejection of the election appeal filed by the People's Democratic Party standard bearer Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi of the Labour Party. Atiku and Obi appealed commenced on May 8 and were concluded on Thursday, October 26, with the Supreme Court effectively ending the dreams of overturning Tinubu's election victory. You can get more of that from the newspaper. I think that lead story has a lot. Let's see other news we can quickly pick from that newspaper. Let's have Lagos. Let's go to Lagos now. It's been a while we've talked about Lagos. Lagos has this story on Punch newspaper. Sanwo-Olu unveiled modern workspace in Ikoyi. Sanwo-Olu unveiled modern workspace in Ikoyi. Let's see what the story have for us. The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, on Wednesday unveiled Center Point, a Dayspring Property Development Company Limited own modern workspace in Ikoyi area of the state. Referred to as African Premier Workspace, Center Point is a 103-meter high-rise edifice offering a blend of leasable office space, owner-occupier office, and versatile multi-purpose hall. You can get that new development coming from Lagos, and that is coming from Punch newspaper. Let's take this one coming from the police. Senate confirm Aliyu as ICPC chair. Senate confirm Aliyu as ICPC chair. The Senate on Thursday confirmed the appointment of Musa Aliyu as the chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission. The Senate also confirmed the appointment of Jaji Dantata and Saka Suleima as member of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. You can get more of this story on Punch newspaper. You can see that they have good stories. Away from that quickly, because we have a lot to say this morning, let's move to the Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper is one of the reliable newspaper. We review their reports daily here, and then they have the headline saying Supreme Court affirms President's victory. And let's see what that has for us. It was a sweet victory for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday. The Supreme Court affirmed its victory in the February 25th presidential election, ending 8 months of litigation. On September 6, the 5 justices of the Court of Appeal sitting at the Presidential Election Petition Court unanimously dismissed the petition against the president. People Democratic Party PDP candidate Atiku Abubakar, who came second in the election, and Labour Party Peter Obi, who came third, both claiming victory, went to the Supreme Court on appeal. Yesterday, verdicts by the Apex Court ended their aspiration. it was final bus stop. It was final bus stop. That is coming from the Nation. And let's see if we have other news we can pick from them. Away from the Nation, we are here on what the Daily Trust has for us. Daily Trust has fantastic stories, and that were reported and they were well written. And let's go to the headline. Says Supreme Court opposed Tinubu's election, dismisses Atiku Obi's appeal. Supreme Court opposed Tinubu's elections, dismisses Atiku Obi's appeal. Let's see what that story is has for us. Yes, the Supreme Court on Thursday resolved the 8-month legal battle over the outcome of the February 25th presidential election in favor of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of All Progressive Congress, APC. It dismissed the separate appeal by the candidate of the People Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and the Labour Party, Peter Obi, for lacking in merits and being vexatious. That is coming from Daily Trust newspaper. And let's see if we have more story we can pick from them quickly. Quickly, I think I still have to come back to Punch newspaper for some relevant news that we need to speak about and to review this morning. Alaafin stop Makinde from sacking us, or your kingmaker beg court. Alaafin stop Makinde from sacking us, or your kingmaker beg court. Senate ask FG to tackle flooding in Lagos, Ogun. Senate ask FG to tackle flooding in Lagos, Ogun. Adisa Osman's book, full of lies against me. Amechi is there on the news again. And we have this one saying, prison congestion. Magistrate barred from granting police remand order. Yes, that is also all of this. You can find them in the pages of Punch newspaper. Then another one said, wait till 2031. Ganduje tells Obi and Atiku. Let's see what that has for us. Yes, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, on Thursday said there was still room for the presidential candidate of the People Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, and the Labour Party, Peter Obi, to actualize their presidential aspiration after the second-term tenure of President Bola Tinubu in 2031. The ruling party chair also applauded the Supreme Court decision which upheld the victory of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the February 25th presidential election. You can get more from all of this newspaper, and we have fantastic story reported by majority of these leading newspapers, including some online that are reliable, as we usually tell you, because we know that with news we can better inform Nigeria. I think it's time for me now to bring our in-house analyst to come and help us critically analyze some of the reports that the newspaper pages are carrying for today. We have so many, but time will not permit us to read through all of them. But let me quickly usher in Mr. Salami Salman. Mr. Salman Salami is our in-house analyst and public affairs commentator. He's a seasoned journalist and a media consultant. Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Barka di Juma. Kana lafiya?
Lafiya, love.
Yes, you should be speaking some level of Hausa now.
Yes.
Okay. So, what do you have for us? We've read some of these paper points of views.
Let me quickly greet all our super citizen listeners, and to welcome them to a bumper edition of newspaper review today. Why did I say bumper edition? Bumper edition in the sense that the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the apex court and the final bus stop court, upheld the decisions and pronouncement of the Presidential Election Tribunal, upholding the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the presidential candidate that was legally or lawfully elected by the majority votes of Nigerians. All the papers carried it.
They have it as their headlines.
Most papers came to town with flaming headline or with banner headlines. That is to underscore the importance of the story. But I will talk so little about it now because we are going to dissect it.
Yes, fully
today for 1 hour during our
big talk show. Yes, that's it.
We welcome our
already.
People to participate in it with us because it is loaded.
Yes, it's fully loaded,
and you will see political correspondence of note, crack reporters who have covered politics for close to 30 years, dissecting what happened.
Yes,
as opposed to what you have been hearing,
side talks,
from
discussion, and the rest of all of those ones.
That is one. So we leave that one at that. Then I will also speak on. I will also analyze what pen pushing online newspaper came to town with on the need to invite Naira Marley, Assis Fashola,
on the case of Mohbad. Yes, it's interesting.
About the late Ilerioluwa's royalty.
Yes.
Well, I think the National Assembly is now living up to its responsibility because it's the People's Assembly, and issues concerning the people should be discussed. Issues of concern to Nigerians should be the fulcrum or the pivot of what should be taking place
at the National Assembly.
At the National Assembly.
Yes.
So that it can rightly be called the National Assembly of the people of Nigeria. That is a good development.
Mm-hmm.
But where things are done properly, is there any need to call the man? Must he be called before he does what is expected of him? Well, it is better late than never.
Why don't we look at it from the allegation of some of the youths, particularly those on that industry, alleging that there's some royalty that was supposed to be paid to that late Mohbad, but because of that, maybe because to help them to look at it, to restore the confidence of Nigerians or the judiciary, or let me say the legislative, they have that oversight to help to see what some of the youths were agitating for. Don't you think so?
Well, to me, it is not. I do not think it should be in the purview of the National Assembly, even though they have dabbled into it, because anything that has to do with it's a civil matter and it is a personal thing. The National Assembly should concentrate on national issues. That is my take. And I want to say with all sense of responsibility that what happened to Mohbad, the unfortunate story of that young man, goes beyond royalty. Why is it that all we've been talking about is property and all this? We should be talking of parenting, good parenting. Nigerians should be talking about moral reorientation, because we have a moral crisis now. We have a moral crisis in our hand.
Okay.
And it goes to the fabric of what is happening in our society. Our youth need to get it right.
Yes, our youth needs to get it right. And if I may reflect back on some of the stories that go along this Mohbad's death, it has gone international to the extent that it was widely reported on international news, and it has splitted the image of Nigeria, and people were looking forward to what should be done. I think with that, the National Assembly rose to the responsibility that they need to let's see. And I am also looking at it, sir, that won't you see it as an avenue for the alleged guy that they were saying probably they were that Naira Marley to be able to say his own side of the story?
Well, I don't enjoy speculation.
Okay.
And I love dealing with facts. Let us leave it to the police to do their job.
All right.
After that, Nigerians will be well informed. But more than that, I will still say that we should own our democracy. The way Nigerians rose to fight for the perceived injustice that led to the untimely death of Naira Marley, we should hold our democracy like that. In which case that they should now hold government accountable. Nigerians should scrutinize the policies, the actions and the inactions of the government in such a manner that they keep the government on their toes. It is when we begin to do that and hold our government accountable that we will get the desired bountiful dividends of democracy.
Honestly, I want to agree with you. I want to agree with you with this. It's very, very important.
Unless we do that, and that is the best way to go about it, because power ultimately belongs to the people.
Okay.
Power belongs to the people. And if power belongs to the people should be in charge. That is it. That is what we are saying. And it is very, very important. Let us leave that one and come to the issue of the barracks, police barracks, to be auctioned.
Yes,
and
across the nation.
Across the nation. And what was the reason for the House of Rep to come up with this? I always say that beheading is not the antidote for headache. If you have headache, taking off your head, is it the answer?
No, it can't be.
If you now say that most barracks are a little bit better than where pigs live, is selling them out or auctioning them the answer? I doubt if it is. It is not the answer. What I think we should do is, how do we handle or maintain
those properties,
public property? And I want to say it with all sense of responsibility that it goes beyond the building they are living in. The hygiene, the health, in fact, the life of the resident, the well-being of the resident is involved. Don't say because it is not your personal property. The way you handle another person's property is the way you will handle your property if eventually you have one. Aside, we need to imbibe the practice in a manner that we should live healthy life, because cleanliness, they say, is close to godliness.
But I'm also looking at it for you to see this angle to it. If you go to some of these barracks, with due respect to the police management, you may not be able to like some of the way the houses and the properties were kept. So renovation after renovation, still the same. And these police officers that are serving Nigeria deserve better. And I think in that line, maybe they have other ways they want to use it. Probably set up another one, just like in the set of the one we have in the military. I think maybe why are you not looking at it from that angle?
No,
sir?
what we are saying is the same thing that happened to this one will happen to another one. The problem with it is the lack of maintenance. If they do not maintain this one and they build another one for them, is it guaranteed that they will maintain that one? Will it not be the same? What we are saying is this: inculcate the
habit,
need for people to be hygienic in their living. That is the thing. And maintenance culture too. We lack maintenance culture. So I do not think that selling public property is the way to go. We have seen the outcome of what monetization that was carried out during the Obasanjo regime in such a manner that every successive members of the National Assembly now have to be catered for by the public, from the public fund. They sold out all the houses built for legislators in such a way now that the new ones now, when they come, we will now have to give them money. What I'm saying is this: there are some things that we do not need to monetize it. It is public property. It should be well kept.
Okay.
These are public property.
Okay,
and
sir.
should be kept in public trust.
I think at this junction I need to bring our guest, our super citizen, to join us on this discussion. Though Mr. Salami is still giving us analysis as we expected, but I am sure, because so many Nigerians who want to contribute to this, so many super citizens who would like to contribute to some of these things we are saying. But as usual, let's make our discussion or our contribution factual, and we should maintain the decorum of talking nicely. Particularly, we can hear our opinion, and our opinion is very, very right. So you can join us on this line 0903 22 29 797 and 0818 2222 206. And let me take the number again: 0903 2229 797 0818 2222 206. Those are the lines you can call us and contribute into some of the headlines that we have read to you from the national dailies as being reported for 27th of October 2023. Mr. Salami, so what do you have to say about other reports we have spoken about?
Well, we look at the confirmation of Aliu Musa as the chairman of the ICPC and others. It is a good development because the cankerworm called corruption is part of the major problems we have in this country.
Oh my God!
And like it was said on Buhari that if we don't kill corruption will kill Nigeria. But I think we should be more serious about fighting corruption now, and corruption should be seen to be fought now in such a way that Nigerians will be glad to know that we are serious about it.
Are you of opinion that the fighting against corruption all this while in the past regimes have not been fought seriously?
Well, you could see that it's an hydra-headed vice that has eaten very deep. It's a cankerworm. It has eaten deep. It has eaten deep into the fabric of our society. Up to today, every day you hear of sleaze, of looting or re-looting, which National Association of Nigerian Students felicitously called any money looted shall be looted, and that is called a looter continua. And I always laugh at these students when they say that, which to me is not
a laughing matter.
It's a serious matter, and I don't think they should approach it with such mindset. No, with corruption we are going nowhere. We must fight corruption, and we must be seen to be fighting corruption, and we must not be partisan. We should not be partisan.
But when we hear fighting corruption, most of us or some of us usually believe that we should be thinking about the leaders. We should be checkmating the leaders. What about other Nigerians who have responsibility to deliver and they are corrupted?
It is erroneous to think that corruption is with the leaders alone. It is a big one. In our private houses, in our private businesses, we should make sure that we stamp out corruption. It is a way of life that I do not want to be corrupt, and I will not corrupt another person. Corruption does not start and end with government and leaders alone. No. It involves all of us, and we should be conscious of not being corrupted.
Okay,
it is important.
You are saying that this person is capable to help fight corruption now?
Well, let us just see how it will go about it.
Okay, let's move to other stories now. Before we do that, we are still expecting our super citizens to contribute to this program. I can see some of them are trying to reach us, but the line is cutting. But I think the line is true now. We can call 090-322-29797. We have the first caller on today. Hello, good morning. Where are you calling from and what's your name?
I'm calling from Nyanya.
Can you please lower your radio there, because we can hear the volume fair. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I said Enojo calling from Nyanya.
Super Citizen Enojo, good morning. Eleojo. Pardon me for that.
Thank you. I think with what is happening in our country now, It has finally come to the stage that we poor people in Nigeria have no hope of justice in this country.
Why did you say so, ma'am?
Yes, I want to explain myself by saying that when the people does not like you and you use your money to bring yourself into that position, I'm talking about the Supreme Court verdict.
Okay. Go ahead.
You use yourself and use your money to bring to a position that masses doesn't like you. And in fact, it is true that there's no justice in this country anymore. That is what.
Well, madam, I
and nobody can convince me that yes. Why did you say that? I'm saying based on what my eyes are seeing.
Well, you are entitled to your opinion, and Madam, Mr. Salman Salami is here. He can help us to answer your agitation. Thank you.
There is a misconception of justice from Madam Eniojo. You see, when you go to court, the courts are courts of law, not courts of sentiment, not court of what I'm seeing, not court of what I'm hearing. It's a court of evidence. The court will pronounce based on facts and evidence placed before them. And it is a specialized discipline. It is not a beer parlor discipline issue. It is not an opinionated thing.
This is where I feel it should be.
And the courts, they are not Father Christmas. They will pronounce based on the totality of the evidence placed before them. And I would not like to say much now until we get to the big talk.
Yes,
when we will dissect the Supreme Court judgment.
And apart from that, I want to thank you, Mr. Salami, for that insight. But I think I should say this at this point for we Nigerians. We have the right to speak to whatever we want to speak, but we shouldn't be raising our opinion to mean that you have finally concluded that the one particular agency of government is bad and it cannot be done, or thinking that in your own opinion without doing any research, without considering any other fact, and come to conclusion that this and this, since it does not go down with you, then it can't be well with Nigeria. These are some of the positions we usually attain that are not correct. We are only using that to injure our beliefs, our patriotics in our country further. So I want to advise us that we should read through some of these things and find out more before we rush into conclusion. Mr. Salami, can we see other opinion? I mean, the other review from other news we've read so far.
Well, there are still quite many. Even this Alafin issue and airport stop Makinde
from sacking us
by the Oyomisis. You know, the engineer Sheyi Makinde, the executive governor of Oyo State, is a very meticulous person, and I want to believe that he believes in justice. And you know that the Oyomisis, they are the king makers. They are the ones who will select the next Alafin, and they have been reportedly accused. They have been accused of taking of not doing it the right way. They have been accused that they are not following the process the way it should be. And quite many people are not particularly happy with the way they are going about their assignments. So they are apprehensive that the governor, being a no-nonsense man, will wield the big stick. But I still want to believe that it's a sacred task they have been called upon to perform. They should win the trust of the people, and they should do the right thing by ensuring that the person who eventually becomes
the
Alaafin is the right man person of the people.
But according to them, they said the kingmaker explained that they had a meeting on September 30, 2023, unanimously selected Prince Lukman Gbadegeshin as the next Alaafin of Oyo to fill the ancient stool, which has become vacant since April last year, following the passing away of Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, who was the 45 Alaafin of Oyo. The kingmaker were appealing to the court to restrain the Oyo State Governor and the Commissioner of Justice on that state to allow them to do their work, and some agents are parading themselves against what the kingmaker has done. What happened to our traditional powers? Must the politician intervene in all of this all the time?
Well, almost everything in Nigeria has been politicized. Almost everything, and this is not good for us. The Oyomesis are the traditional custodians of so many values, norms, and morals. They are the rightful person to look into and select the next Alaafin based on certain non-settled criteria. And they will now send the names, or the name as it were, of the preferred candidate to the governor for ratification.
Is that exactly what they said they did? But they said probably it's not going down with the governor. So with that, the governor is trying to pull them away or remove them from their traditional posts.
We have not heard from the governor, so we will not speculate on things that we do not have the facts.
Okay, let's move away from that, and we hope the Oyo people and the governor of the states a happy selecting a Alaafin for us, and we'll be glad to have a united front leader for the Yoruba race coming from that angle.
Another report, another story in the newspaper that I would like us to touch on is Adisa's book.
Okay.
And Rotimi Amechi's retort or response that Adisa's book is full of
lies against him.
Well, let him write his own.
As a rejoinder, or he should just correct the anomalies?
Let him write his own. People who read Adisa's own, they will read his own, and they will believe what they want to believe. So if he feels that what Adisa Bala Usman has written is full of lies, let him write his own and let it be full of truths. And Nigerians will read and decide to believe the one they want to believe. It is as simple as that. But we know, and we are not taking sides, that Adisa has a pedigree.
But
if you know Adisa, you remember the legendary Bala Usman, Dr. Bala Usman.
Yes. But Amechi is trying to deny that the claim that the book that orchestrated her removal as the MPA managing director, I think that is where the reef is coming from.
Well, it is in public place. It's no more news that Adisa was removed as the MD of Nigerian Ports Authority at the time. And there were accusations and counter accusations as to what led to the removal of Adisa. Well, Adisa has decided to chronicle what she thinks transpired for history
to take his place
purposes. And it is only good because the manner and the way she was relieved of her position that time smacks of infamy, if I may put it that way, because it was a big embarrassment and a dent on the reputation of her father, who was known to be a man
of
imbued with integrity.
Now, for instance, one of the things that Amechi is claimed that she was not indicted by the panel, but she was found guilty of all the 10 counts. Amechi claimed that he even took a copy of the memo to the president, in which the president endorsed her removal.
Well, it is neither here nor there. We were not there. So all we will advise Amechi to do is to write his own book,
so that we can read and just post, which is balance. Anyway, Mr. Salami, I want to thank you so much. Let me allow you to go get prepared for the big talk and the big show that we want to analyze.
We are prepared.
We are prepared already.
We are very much prepared.
All right. So, viewers and ladies and gentlemen, super citizen of Nigeria, I'm sorry. I know majority of you are battling to call us, and the line. I don't know. Sometimes, I used to say I want to appeal to our network provider to please improve the network services in Nigeria. Particularly, some of us are finding it difficult to call, and when you cannot even talk to people and connect end-to-end connection is usually difficult nowadays. Please, we appeal to you to help us to work on it so that we can enjoy all your services. At this juncture, we will be rounding off for today's 27th of October on our newspaper review. As you can see, so many things have been said and reviewed, and I want to thank Salami Salman for his insights in some of this story. As usual, thank you very much for coming. We want to see you more on this.
You still have to thank me again because we are coming back.
Yes, we are coming back, and that's much we'll take on today's newspaper review. Till tomorrow, by God's grace, I remain Okikiola Kosim. We will meet tomorrow by God's grace. And listeners, wait. Immediately after this program, it will be time for big talk, and we shall be looking at Supreme Court judgment that confirm the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Don't go away. We'll be right back.